Texas A&M is set to part ways with Jimbo Fisher. It's been a long time coming and a very frustrating tenure for the Aggies and Fisher, but now it has come to an end. Today, we are taking a look at the 10 candidates that could replace him. These aren't in any order, so I think we'll start with one that you could tap back into the well, the Florida State well, and get Mike Norvell. Now, the difference here is you're getting an offensive minded coach who is adapted to this century. He has not been set in his ways. He's willing to adapt. He's willing to hit the transfer portal. He knows how to recruit. And also, if everything works out, you get two good offensive coordinators, assuming that they don't look for head coaching jobs themselves. If you're able to get that, you get a trio of coaches in place in Mike Norvell, Alex Atkins, and Adam Fuller. I think they're doing a great job, and Florida State is in the college football playoff race, which is exactly where Texas A&M wants to be. Maybe it's unlikely. Maybe Norvell is satisfied at Florida State, doesn't want to look elsewhere. But given that Texas A&M is going to try to figure out who they want, and it has to be the right fit and the right guy, I think Norvell would definitely be on this list. Kalen DeBoer is doing a great job at Washington. And again, this one's probably not the most likely. But when you look at what DeBoer has done at Fresno State and Washington, he has done really well at developing his quarterback, and he's had good wide receivers that can make big plays. What does Texas A&M have? A quarterback that can be developed, has taken a step forward in his development, and can get better in Connor Wegman. And you have receivers that have a lot of potential. So you're looking at like a guy like Evan Stewart. You're telling me that Evan Stewart can't have a career or a season like a Romeo Dunze have, or anybody that Fresno State was able to produce. I think that you're looking at the right pieces in place for Kalen DeBoer to make an impact. And you just have to find the right defensive coordinator. Obviously, DeBoer defenses haven't been great, and this year especially, but you're looking at an offense that could put up points. And in this day and age, if you can't score points, you're not going to win football games. The one that I think everybody wants is Mike Elko. That seems to be the common person that will take over. Elko, the former Texas A&M defensive coordinator, is doing a great job at Duke. Maybe not the best season this year, but still a tough group to beat, and he's done a great job of developing the talent, especially on defense. Right now, Texas A&M defense has too much talent to be or to have as much of the struggles that they've had so far, and that would definitely get fixed if Elko comes to Texas A&M. Glen Schumann goes along those same lines. The defensive coordinator for Georgia obviously will be a hot commodity in the head coaching market, and he obviously would be able to maybe fix the defense that Texas A&M struggled with this year. Again, there's too much talent on this defense, and some of it will probably be gone, but you're able to get a guy who has done a great job of developing talent at Georgia. He's been on a list for a lot of teams that really want to elevate their defense and their programs as well. So I think that that would be someone who could definitely make an impact. Dion Sanders is going to be on lists whether you like it or not. He is the one of the hottest coaches in college football. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's talking about his program. And so far this year, we've seen some of the potential of what he could do. Now, some of this kind of depends on if you are going to be able to, trust that he's going to bring in the right talent, trust that he is going to coach and be kind of level headed. But maybe it's kind of chaotic in Colorado right now. There's a lot of publicity, and Texas A&M probably wants that. Texas A&M probably wants the ability to interesting because Dion brings so much attention to your program, and Texas A&M wants that. They want that they want to get back to the Johnny Manziel era where people were always paying attention to them and in a positive light. And they're trying to get that. And I think Dion has the right tools to be a good head coach. So that's really why he's going to be on the list. He's shown the ability to bring in top tier talent, and that's been at inferior schools. Now imagine what you can do if you put him on a school that consistently recruits against the best teams in the country. Currently has one of the best recruiting classes in the country, and you need to make a move. If Dion's able to do that and come to Texas A&M, called in College Station before this early signing period, then I think that you're in good hands. Lane Kiffin's been a name that's been thrown around quite a bit with the Texas A&M job. The question is if he'd actually take it. When you're recruiting at Ole Miss, obviously you can get some good talent, and he has done that so far. He's also done a great job in the transfer portal of bringing in certain players that fit his system, fit his culture. But imagine what he could do at an elevated scale. At Texas A&M, you have the ability to recruit anybody you want. You have a little bit more appeal in the transfer portal, so you can identify talent that you really, really want and make your program better. I think Kiffin also brings a lot of attention, kind of like Dion does, and that's exactly what Texas A&M wants in their head coach. A name that I feel obligated to put on here because it's been circulating so much is Urban Meyer. While I don't think Urban Meyer is coming out of retirement to take this Texas A&M job, I'm also not putting it past him. I believe that he has the urge to coach still. I think that he still wants to do that. It's just going to be the right fit. And given that he's not going to anything less than a Power Five school at a minimum, you have to find the right job. It has to be a bigger job and it has to be a job where he will essentially be given a lot of control. And I think that Texas A&M would be willing to give him that on top of a massive contract. Now we'll do three that are kind of out there. And right, like I said, Texas A&M needs to make a good hire, so the odds of them taking these guys might be pretty low. But I think that these would be interesting options for Texas A&M as kind of a hypothetical. DJ Kinney has done a great job at both Incarnate Word and Texas State so far this year. He's done a great job of getting underrated, overlooked talent and turning it into an explosive program. The offenses that he's coached are some of the best in college football, and I think Texas A&M still has a little bit of a way to go before they can get to that point. And Kinney can, and obviously, again, we talk about transfer portal, we talk about recruiting. Kenny has been more focused on the transfer portal. He's kind of doing the Dion approach, but without the same publicity. But he's been able to find the right pieces. He's hit on a lot of the transfer portal additions, and that's a big reason why Texas State has been so good. Now, Jeff Traylor may not be the most appealing coach in terms of flash, in terms of popularity, but Jeff Traylor has done a great job of building a program at UTSA. If you can build a program at UTSA, imagine what you could do at Texas A&M. Now, obviously, he would have to adapt to the higher expectations and whatnot, but Jeff Traylor is a really, really good coach. I think if you're looking for someone to build a program, he is definitely someone to keep an eye on, and his success at UTSA shows that he knows what he's doing. Brent Venables is a little bit unlikely, but given his history as a defensive coordinator, something that Texas A&M, the defensive side of the ball, really needs help, he might be an appealing option, especially now that Oklahoma is 8-2. Has it been the best season for the Sooners? No, but he's also shown improvement from last year. I think people are forgetting that. Last year was a 500 team at best, and it did not look good. And this year they're 8-2 at this point. They are doing a lot better job of playing to the level they should be, and they're taking steps in the right direction. Venables has done a great job of recruiting. I think he's hit on a number of transfer portal additions too. So you're looking at good pieces, and I don't think it's as outlandish as it seems. So Brent Venables to me would be a great choice to replace Jimbo Fisher.